Oh, hello. Welcome back, my Florida Garden Escape channel. I'm happy to have you guys here. Today, guess what? We're going herb harvesting. So let's go ahead and get into it and get to harvesting some herbs. We're going to be harvesting some basil, some mint, and maybe even a little bit of thyme. But let's go and check everything out. Before we do, go ahead and hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell so that way you don't miss out on our new videos. If you're new here, welcome. We're happy to have you. Let's go ahead and get harvesting some herbs. Alright, so first things first, we're going to harvest some basil. I got a basket here to put our herbs in. So first things first, I am actually going to cut a lot of this down off our Thai basil. So that way it's not looking so much like a tree here. We're going to harvest this guy right here. And then I am going to top him off here. Get that one pulled. There we go. He's looking a lot better, not so heavy in the weight, which is what I don't want him to do, is kind of be falling over everywhere. So I'm just cutting these longer ones off here, and we're going to harvest those guys. There he goes. A lot better. More breathing room, which is good. Now, I do want this guy kind of tall because this one I really used to take cuttings off of to get more of our Thai basil, so that way I'm not having to start it from seed, which does help it out a lot. Everything is just looking so great. I love it. Alright, so enough of the Thai basil. Now we're going to come over here to our Italian large leaf basil. As you guys can see, he's definitely drooping over here a lot. I'm going to go ahead and top this guy here. That one off, and we're going to go ahead and just cut some of these that are just don't have anything on them at all, because they're just pretty much duds at this point. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna leave him, and then we are going to get this guy. I'm going to get the one that's in the elbow. We're going to get here. I think I'm gonna go for this guy right here. Kind of take off a lot of this weight that he's got on him and cut that one off. There we go. Much better. And then cut you off. And this guy just does not want to. There he goes. He did not want to come off there. We're going to be getting a lot of basil today, just due to how much we're going to be taking cuttings from. And then also down here, take you off. There it goes. Alright, and now the smaller one I have down here, smaller ones, we're just going to do this. We're just going to top a lot of these guys. Take a few of the leaves. Now when you harvest a lot of your herbs, you want to wait a good gap in between each harvest, so that way the basil can come back and produce even more. So once you harvest, you don't want to harvest again for another week or so, depending on which plant you're harvesting from. I like to rotate out sometimes which one I'm harvesting from, so that way we're always harvesting and just at from different plants. The more you have, the more you'll be able to get. That's kind of the concept with your herbs, especially if you use your herbs a lot. The more you harvest, the more you're gonna want to get from your basil. And we're gonna take some of these big leaves from here. And with your basil, the more you harvest, the better off you're gonna make your plant. It's going to love that you harvest from it because it's going to be able to shoot more out. Alright, so far we got a lot of basil. Let's check it out in here. Looks like we got some oregano we can harvest, which is right here. We're not gonna get any harvest from these guys. They're still really small, but I do like how they're growing. But I am gonna grab some oregano. Where did my cutters just go? Oh, here they are. We are gonna grab some oregano though. I just gotta be careful on where I cut it at because I don't want to take too much, you know. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna take this one here, cut it. There we go. And then I'm gonna also cut this one here. There we go. And let's cut this one here. There we are. And now we have some oregano. Alright, and that's gonna be it. We harvested from that one not too long ago for my mom. So let's go ahead and get out to the others. Now, if you all are still here with us by the end of the video, I do have a special edition for us. So make sure you do stay tuned towards the end to catch that special edition. Alright, so here we do have a lot of our basil. I'm just coming out here to grab some of the mammoth basil. I haven't harvested it yet. I've been really stoked about growing it. So I'm just going to come through here and grab a few leaves from our mammoth basil. And we're going to dry these out and see really compare a difference between the regular Italian large leaf basil to this mammoth basil. I'm just clipping. It's just like topping them almost to help them push out even more. This is a really great thing to do for your basils. So I would highly recommend doing it to them so that way they double their production. Depending on how tall you want them, you can do it sooner, you can do it later. The taller you let it get a little bit, the more taller it'll be. So that's why it's definitely up to you on how you want that basil to look. Okay. All right. Now let's go harvest some mint. Now with your mint, since some of these are starting to push out seeds, I'm going to go ahead and cut them out because I don't want them to go fully into a seeding frenzy. So let me set you guys to the side. Alright, so we are going to cut this one here, right here. Cut him. We are going to go ahead and remove this guy. Going to cut this one here. Now with the cuttings I'm taking, what I'll do is I'll let it dry out and get the seeds from it that they've pushed out, because I can reuse the seeds and give them out to community members as well that are wanting to grow some mint. Alright, and one thing I like to do with the mint is take it when it's dried and put it in like a tea bag form with a filter or something, and make mint tea with it, as mint tea is a great herb to have if you have like a cold, a sore throat, and even also for stomach aches. It can be very helpful. Now I'm not a doctor, so I couldn't say for certain. I just know that like your herbs are great for your immune system and things like that. We don't cut him there. Alright, and this is looking a lot better. Cut this one off as well. We're getting a lot of mint here. Alrighty. And it also helps with cutting the mint out as well to allow it to get that airflow it needs. Because if you allow it to get too bushy, what'll end up happening is it'll create powdery mildew, because it's not getting that appropriate airflow that it's wanting. And I think that's all that we are gonna harvest today. All right, that should do it. So check it out. We've harvested so much of our mint and our herbs today. It's unreal. Unfortunately, the time wasn't ready to be harvested, but maybe next time it will be. Let's go ahead and get this inside to dry it out. Alright, so now we're here in the house. We're going to go ahead and empty out our herbs and start getting them all dried. I'm going to move this because this was from the previous herbs we've already dried and kind of collected here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first start with the mint as it is on top. I'm just going to set the mint throughout on top here and really like spread it out. Now some of the leaves I may just kind of tie up and hang up. Since it is a lot longer vine. Let's do it like this. Take this off. And then remove the rest of this. That's good there. Alright, so that's a lot of it. And I'm just taking out a lot of the stems that don't have any of the leaves on them because we really won't need anything with those. Just because it's not really anything to get from for it. Let's see this one. And I'm just tearing these apart with my finger. I'm not using any kind of special tool, just plucking it off here. But I do have some nails here, so I'm kind of digging the nail into the stem to kind of pull that stem off there. Alright, and now I'm just going to lay these individually throughout this paper towel here. The paper towel is going to help keep the mint from being having moisture in that. I always dry our herbs in the paper towels. It works great, and then I just kind of set it in my windowsill to sit for about a week. And then I'll harvest it once it's fully dried, and then we'll kind of use it for like mint tea and things like that. There we go. It's great for upset stomach and that. Yes, baby. 2-year-old running around. Yes, what? There we go. And with the ones that have leaked the seeds on them, we're just going to let those dry out in here with those. And then once it's all dried, we can then harvest the seeds out of the mint. And I'm just filling it up here. Once I have it totally filled, I'll then kind of wrap it up in the paper towel. So that's going to do it. That's pretty full. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to layer it over on top of each layer. That way there's not a whole lot of bunched up in the paper towel at once, and it's able to breathe and not build up any moisture. Alright, and we're going to chuck that guy back in there and fold it in half. And then I'm just going to set this in our windowsill. Alright, grab another piece here, stretch it out. Alright, and let's add the rest of this mint on here. There we are. Looks like that's going to be all the mint we have. So that's all in there. Making sure I'm not overlooking any mint that's in here. Okay, good. Awesome. Alright, now I'm just going to fold this up. Alrighty, that is done for a minute. Now we're gonna do the basil. Well, I'm actually gonna do this oregano first. I want it to really off on its own here. So I'm just gonna place it in here. Make sure I get the few clippings I got. Alright, there we go. And just fold this up. And we're going to set this in the kitchen window as well. Alright, and now this last piece, we're going to start adding the basil. Alright, and we're going to fold him up. Looks like I'll have a lot more to do here, so we're going to actually get some more paper towels. Oh, thank you, baby. Alright, here we go. We got some more. Let's go ahead and get some more of this basil out. There we go. What? Now with these longer ones, I'm just going to kind of split in half here. We're drying it all out anyway, so it'll be okay if we don't do it right out of node. And I'll just split it up into several different pieces there. Alright, now we got all this in. So we just got a little bit left. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this one up. Alright, so now we're on the last bit of basil. I'm just going to dump it in on here because it's just the last pieces. Take out some of the stuff that kind of fell off that we don't want dried in here. Alright. And I want these just really all spread out so they dry out good. Alright, there we go. And now we're going to fold. Alright, and we're going to put these up in the windowsill, and now they're going to sit for 2 weeks. So, alright guys, so that is going to be it for our drying process. Now time for our special edition. Alright guys, so now it's time for our special edition. We've dried our herbs, we've got it all done, but now we need to get some soil so that way we can start some more seedlings this coming up next week because we got a lot we need to get done. So now I'm going to show you how I create our own little soil mixture. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first things first, I take an old bag of soil that we've had previously. This is from Simple Garden Happy Life manure. It has compost and cow manure in it. And first, what we're going to do is we're going to take our compost and cow manure mixture that we have in this bag here. So that way we can mix this with some peat moss and some perlite, so that way it has good drainage. Now with the mixture that you're going to want to do 1 scoop of each. Now what I like to do, instead of scooping it, I will just pour it into the bag because it's a lot quicker and the bag isn't so heavy. If it was a lot fuller, I wouldn't do it, just because I don't want to make a big mess and waste anything. Ooh, just like I about did there. It's a lot harder to do when it's just you. Alright, there we go. There we are. And I'm just going to actually go ahead and put a lot of this in there because we're going to be going through a lot of it, starting some new seeds and things like that. So I'll do layers by layers, and then we do add some peat moss into it. We don't have perlite at this time. Normally we do add perlite into it, but since a lot of this is going to be used to start seed, we don't really need too much of the perlite in the mixture. One more scoop of this and then it should be good. Alright. And now, I'll show you guys really quick what it looks like before it's mixed. There you are. And now we're going to go ahead and mix it with our hook here. Alright. And you're going to really mix it all up good. Break up those chunks that are in there. I'll mix it for a little bit with this rake. And then what I'll do is I'll take my hands and mix it up even more. Because with my hands, I'm able to really break it up and get it mixed all good together. Because you want it to be mixed very well. Like, you don't want it a big old blob of peat moss or compost manure just sitting there with each other. Alright, so I got it pretty good mixed up with this. I'm going to go ahead and dig in here with my hand. Oh, nice one. Right. There we go. That's better. Alright, so we're just going to add a little bit more compost cow manure. And then I'm going to add our worm poop compost, which is going to be a great fertilizer for the plants as well. Alright, that should do it. And I'm just right now just taking my hand and smushing up these blocks. And then I'm going to take the rake. Where'd it go? Okay. Take this and then just stir it up even more. There we go, much better. Alright, that's all done. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what it looks like. There you are. You can see the peat moss in there. It's definitely going to be some great soil. Now let's go ahead and get our worm casting. So here is our worm casting in eggshells. We're going to get a shovel and scoop some of this out to add to it. Alright, so we got some of our compost mulch, and I'm just going to go ahead and mix it up in here. I made sure we didn't get any worms. The eggshells will help add nutrients, and as you can see, it's all mixed up in there. Even got some on the sides there. And as you can see, if I move it around some, you'll find a few of those eggshells and natural compost, as you can see there. Alright, so let's take this inside. Alright, so we got our soil mix in here inside now, and then we can soon start working on our grow room and getting some more seeds germinated. But that is going to be for another time, guys. So until next time, catch you later. Deuces!